Hi there. On today's episode, we roll back the clock to day one. Day one of Quiet. We review a Quiet Place day one. I'm Charlie.
I'm Chris. And I'm ready.
This is straight to PLD. It's been a while. It's been pretty much like a month since Furiosa. Since the Furiosa review. How's everyone doing? We all good? Are we all back from our vacations?
I
Well,
mean,
only
it's
two of us
trying
went on
to
vacation.
trying to survive this heat. You know what I'm saying? This heat
Yeah,
is
it's hot as
just
balls.
ridiculous.
Hmm.
Um, I recently went to Minnesota for a friend's trip, a friend's bachelor party. It was nice. But it was all right. It's been okay.
Yeah.
Saw
I
a
went to
couple
Miami for a wedding.
movies. Yeah.
That
Oh
was
yeah, that's
cool.
right. That's right. You went to Miami. This is wild. And Chris, you also went. Where'd you go?
I went near Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
So, in case you were wondering why
Um,
we've been in a hiatus, it's because we've been traveling. That's why. That's why. But we're back on it.
we're watching movies, watching all the movies,
We're watching all the movies. I will fly to
including
Mexico
this
just
one
to watch a movie that I could have watched
in
here
Spanish.
in Spanish
Um,
with English subtitles. Take that, society.
but there's some movies we have seen along the way that we're not reviewing in full, but I think I've seen two out of three of these. But we'll just shoot through them and just give them what'd you think, and should people go watch it? First up is The Watchers. Did everyone watch The Watchers? Watching
Yes.
us, watching
Yes.
them.
Dakota Fanning is
Yeah.
back, baby.
Did she ever leave?
I
Was she ever
mean,
here?
I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I don't
Yes.
know if she was ever here to begin with, but she's back,
Yes,
baby.
she was.
Yeah.
She's a
Hmm.
she's a national um
Yeah,
treasure.
okay.
All right.
Couldn't even finish your sentence.
Who doesn't love Dakota Fanning? But I thought this movie was pretty good. I thought it was I appreciate that it was like self-contained. It was actually about a thing and it wasn't just like, oh, Dakota Fanning is actually having hallucinations or like the trauma of Dakota Fanning's past is like haunting her. Right? I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but like cool, there's like something I can actually point to in terms of like a cause or like whatever. Was it the best movie ever? Eh, eh, not really. Not really. It was M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, I think,
Yep.
that like directed and wrote this movie.
Hmm.
So a lot of M. Night, a lot of her father's influence in this movie, but better than I would say better than just a general M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Wow.
But not the best again.
I mean, M. Night Shyamalan, I mean, after the first couple of them, I want to go and give him credit. I mean, you have to figure out how to keep the twist coming, you know? Before it was like the twist at the end, and now it's like mid movie twists. And I'm like, okay, I guess reveal that in the beginning or in the
Um,
middle. Well, I don't know how I feel
yeah.
about that, but sure.
Yeah, I feel yeah, this is like a side horror movie, but if you have nothing else to do on a Saturday night, just want to turn your brain off for like an hour and a half, you watch The Watchers.
I didn't
Eddie, what'd you
I didn't
think?
think it was very good, honestly.
You're
Like
not very good.
it had a cool, like interesting concept. Kind of didn't really do
Yeah.
anything with it. Like them going to lore stuff was kind of neat at the end or like middle to end. But then the film had like a third act where it was like, did we really need to see this part of the movie? I don't know. I feel like it could just ended before like
Or like right at
that
the
part.
university part, maybe.
It, or even like before then. Like them escaping, I guess. Spoilers
Yeah.
would be good enough for me. We don't need the whole, oh, you're a half watcher, half
Halfling.
human.
Yeah.
You're special. And then
Wow, it
she
just
flies
spoiled
away.
the whole movie.
It
Yeah.
was already it was already I was spoiled, you know.
I did like, however, is the next movie was Inside Out. I like that one a lot. Did you watch that one, Chris?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I really love the first one, so
Yeah, the first one I like too.
yeah.
I wanted to see if they were able to keep up the hype and the moving forward of the from the first one. I think they
Mhm.
did a good job. I think for the most part it was pretty on point. I don't necessarily have any quarrel with it. It's still a movie, so I give that because in my dark humor, I was like, there's a couple other emotions I think I would have chosen, but we'll go with those for right now.
You know, that's the third movie. We'll save
Yeah, that's
those.
the that's that's the third movie. Yep, Riley goes to college. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
all the new emotions were pretty great. Like
yeah,
them interacting with like the board and like trying to make Riley the best Riley that they think, and like, oh, this is like to help her for her future, not for now. And even if it's like pushing her old friends away. But yeah, it
yeah.
was a great
I
movie.
like that they're all complex in their own way. They're not simple emotions. As much as those five original emotions can be somewhat complex, they are a staple, which I
Yeah.
thought in the first film they did a good job of like encompassing what, five emotions a child would have and what dictates what. But the complicated emotions are so like they're the explanation within the movie, which is great, where it's like we're not worried about the things that are happening right now. We have to worry about the things that could be. Um, but it always seems to be negative, which is funny because that's exactly what it is. The combination of I was hoping to see some combination of emotions within like the main emotions. Um, and there was a little play on with them, but I was like, oh, maybe mix anxiety with boredom or something, where you're just anxious. It's like I'm so bored, but I'm anxious because I'm bored, and I don't know why I'm bored, and so on and so forth. But I thought it was a really good, enjoyable movie. Definitely go watch it if you can.
What about you, Charlie? Did you see this movie?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought it was good. It was on the
No.
good side. I thought it was all right.
Charlie is his inner child is dead.
Um it was I feel like the I don't know, for like a child like that, I don't know if I agree with the new emotions that popped up just because they're generally negative. It's like where are the other I don't know. Like it would have been I know it would have been too much to have like what did Eddie say? He's like, where's confidence or pride or like, I don't know, excitement or other things. Like
Isn't joy
the
excitement?
positive, yeah, well, I guess the positive, like what would be the opposite end of anxiety or the opposite end of embarrassment? Confidence?
Joy?
Yeah. Is George is the or like the opposite end of boredom.
Is
I
it?
feel like pride and confidence would either pride or confidence would have been in there somewhere, or
Yeah, but
courage.
does a kid who's going through whatever like stuff, like th- would she have confidence?
That's
She
the
didn't
thing, is
seem like
that
she would have confidence in this movie.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like by like sticking
Like plot
to
wise, it
yeah,
doesn't make
plot wise,
sense.
sticking to the movie, the emotions. And I guess that's one of the quarrels that I would have, is that all the emotions seemed negative, because you could be anxious, but they never necessarily gave her the opportunity to be anxious positively. I was like, well, you could,
Hmm.
when they were discussing this, like, what about this one and that? It's like, yeah, but what about the possibility of not that? What about the possibility that everything does work out, or the possibility? And they do address it very, very briefly when they're in the room, like, drawing and stuff. and that's what I was kind of hoping for because all the emotions were negative, but it makes sense for a teenager just going through that. Yeah, they wouldn't necessarily have confidence or pride or anything like that. And we're focusing on Riley. It might be different for other, if they got into the heads of everybody else. But I was hoping to maybe get a little bit more of like the other side because I mean, I don't know. I
It
guess
just doesn't
that will
help
come
that the
later.
new emotions like took over immediately, so
Right. And again,
they couldn't really work together
no, and that's the
like you were
thing. They weren't
saying.
really working together. That's different because they were independent. And I
Yeah,
guess in the first film it was like, oh, you're growing, you're learning to mix and match, and that's
yeah.
good. That's growing up. And in this one, it was like they're very, very much themselves, but they don't even work like congruently together or mix and match. They are just very, very much independent, even though they're all together. But because they're so complex and because it's so much to handle, that maybe that's why, maybe that's a thing they were trying to get across. Um, but to Charlie's point, that was me. I was like, well, I don't remember necessarily being confident or prideful or having a positive emotion at that age.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't necessarily
I also don't
think.
feel having like I felt. I also don't feel like I had like complicated emotions like anxiety
You
either.
Well,
Or
it's
weren't
if
like
it
you didn't have
was,
anxiety
if
at
it,
all when you were a
yeah,
teenager.
if
Not
it
at all.
was,
Okay.
I don't think I recognized. I think I did. I just didn't recognize it as anxiety. It was just
Yeah,
like
because it's like your inner thing inside.
whatever. I don't know.
inside.
Yeah,
Uh, or
it's
maybe like
inside.
even like needy or
Oh, I
something
get
like
the
that.
movie. Yeah. Yeah. I'm fixed. I don't
I'm
know. I feel
fixed.
like it was a very, yeah. I feel like it was a very adult-esque movie for, you know, for like a child's feelings.
That's just like a Pixar movie,
If
though.
it, yeah. But it was also, I don't know. I feel like wherever she landed, it would have been like, all right, this would have been like 13 to 17 or 13 to 18 or even 13 to like 22, where it's just like it's like an arc. Like you're not like bogus and try to like climb the social ladder in high school just one time. Or this not even wasn't even high school, it was just like a hockey camp. Um it would be several, I don't know, several instances of it. But that's just me. It's got to wrap up in an hour and a half, right? So
Sorry that you were the pro hockey player. No anxiety over here.
It was
I was almost
straight.
drafted. I was almost drafted. Yeah. Um, but I wonder where is it gonna take it all the way through? High school, college, work, job,
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, this movie
kids?
made $1 billion this past weekend, so
Disney's back, baby.
Nice.
yeah, Pixar's back. Movies
Yeah,
are
but
Again,
back.
overall, yeah,
again, you
overall,
just need
yes.
one or
I did
two,
like
Chris. You
I
just
liked
need
the
one or
first one
two
so
to make
much
it
that yes, I went to go
survivable.
yeah.
You just need one or two to keep it float, keep the company afloat. That's all you need.
I think you need a little more of that.
We'll see when Wolverine and Deadpool come out. We'll see how well that does.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, but yeah, go watch Inside Out too. Let me know. Am I just being over analytic? Am I being anxious about this movie? Let me know. Um, Bad Boys Ride or Die. I think Chris, you're the only one who watched this movie.
Yep.
Was it good? I mean, you had a whole journey. You watched all of them in like the
I
last
did.
month.
I've never
How's
seen these.
how's your whole journey?
I haven't seen these movies before this, and but I heard the last movie, Bad Boys for Life. They mix up the titles, but it's fine. Well, I heard that was good, and it like did super well during COVID, like pre-COVID. So I was like, you know what? This new one's coming out. I'm gonna check them all out. The first two are pretty old, like late 90s, early 2000s, and those are they're okay. They're all right. It's like a Michael Bay directed movies. So there's some cool action, but overall the story is not nothing special. I think the last one, Bad Boys for Life, I didn't really like that one much either. Like, I don't know, the story wasn't great, and it was like this doesn't make sense, even for like these characters to like get away with this, because like they're like in Mexico or something, and they're like, we're just gonna run into the U.S. embassy with our tank and be okay.
Okay.
But
Is that really
you
what
know,
it
it's like
was?
just like that.
Oh, geez.
Um, and then so when this one came around, I wasn't really expecting much, but I was still looking forward to it in a way. But honestly, it was pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun. Maybe it's just like watching other people in the room, but like it was pretty fun to watch. And there was even like a Will Smith slap joke, like the Oscar slap.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, that's funny. Yeah. So I mean, was Chris Rock in it?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fun time. There's yeah, nothing. It's kind of like the Fast and Furious movies, but not as like ridiculous. Like they're not like superhuman in a way.
Yeah.
But it
I mean,
feels
I
like
saw in the
plot
trailer
wise,
there was a
it make
part. Yeah, in the
yeah.
trailer there's a part where he throws a gun and like um Martin like catches it perfectly and just starts shooting.
Yeah, I think
Like
he was
throws a
on
gun
cocaine at the
sideways.
time. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, I think they like had like a camera rig or something to that gun.
Yeah.
So like it would track the gun and then go back. Like there's a lot of cool like shots in this. Like
Yeah.
with Will Smith, like he did like all his own camera work for one scene where
Oh,
they're
really?
shooting. Yeah.
Oh, where it's like the front facing
Yep.
camera.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That looked
So
pretty
like
cool.
for a series that's been around this long and has only had four movies, you know what? Good for them. As much as like the
But
reboots kind of suck, like for a lot of these movies, like this
yeah.
wasn't too bad.
Um, should people go watch it? I don't know if it's still in theaters.
I think it might be. I think it's still doing like pretty decently in theaters. It might be
Nice.
also be streaming right now, I don't know. But I mean, do you need to watch the other Bad Boys movies to watch this one? Probably not. I mean, it's Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, like I don't know.
Hmm.
They're just being cops and old men now. They're old.
Was a lot of age
Martin.
jokes?
The last one definitely had some like age jokes. This one not as much.
Okay. It's
Martin.
not bad.
Yeah,
That's cool.
fun
You
time.
should now you should watch all the Beverly Cop movies in
Yeah,
preparation for the
that
new
one just
Beverly
came out. I heard
Cop
it's not very good.
on Netflix.
Which one?
Yeah. Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, the new one? Nah, man. I used to love Beverly Hills Cop, man. But I don't think I'll watch this new one, man. I think you just gotta stop.
All
Gotta stop. Just gotta stop trying to catch in
All
on.
right.
We're no longer catching in on 80s things, man. Just go to the next decade. It's over.
I mean, you
Just,
say that.
I mean, I don't. I just wasn't. I'm not excited about these things anymore. Like if they were to remake Back to the Future
Oh,
right now,
geez. When
exactly.
they
Thank you.
remake it.
Okay, well, that's okay. Good point. Good point. I just, it is what it is. Anyway.
It's over. It's over. It was already over on three.
Three
Three
was a
was all
cash
right.
grab in the 80s. I don't know what this is. Uh, Everybody knew without the internet knew they were like it was a cash grab in the 80s. So I don't know what this is. I don't
Hmm.
know what this is.
True.
Ah, that's funny.
So speaking of going back to day one. Chris, can you tell us about this movie?
Sure. A woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra-sensitive hearing. This film was directed by Michael Sarnowski, and he did one of our favorites from a few years ago, Pig. This film starred Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Um, all right. This is a third installment of A Quiet Place. Um, Chris, what are your spoiler-free thoughts here?
Honestly, going in this, I didn't know if I wanted like when I saw this and be announced, I was like, I don't know if I really want or need more Quiet Place, especially after the last one. I feel like they kind of wrapped it up, but I was intrigued because it was like new setting, new day, new city. So,
New day.
but yeah, I end up liking this one. It's definitely a lot different than I feel like the style is different. Like the first two are more like I feel like they're more straight horror movies. And this one has horror elements, is not, I don't know, it feels a little lighter to me. I don't
Mhm.
know about you guys, but um Lupita Nyong'o she's great in it. Like her character is going through some stuff throughout this and she's like pushing through and she has a cat that she carries around with her everywhere. And honestly, I'm surprised more bad stuff didn't happen with that cat. As soon as I saw it in the trailer, I was like, oh man,
Yeah, let's get into the
they're gonna have to
cat
like
in a little
smother that
bit.
cat or something.
Let's get into the
That
cat
effing
in a
cat,
little bit.
man.
But yeah,
Um, you're
there's
right.
also like the like her friend character, Joseph Quinn, like he played like Eric, like this random guy that they meet on the street. Like he's good and like he's a nice addition to like their traveling journey to where she wants to go. But like, yeah, it's kind of funny. Like we know the rules from the first two movies. Like you have to be quiet, and it's like there's so many times it's like, come on, people, they told you to be quiet, and you're doing this. It's like so
Come
obvious, like a
on.
bad idea.
Yeah.
So many times in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then uh yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, the monsters. I Are these look different than the ones from the other movies? I feel like these are
Feel
way
like
bigger.
I feel like they evolved or something happened. Like it's like a derivative, like a offspring of
Hmm.
the ones we like the ones we
Like
saw in the
they
first
sent
film.
some like different ones to the
Yeah,
that family. Yeah.
not necessarily different ones, but maybe I don't know. I don't know if they could reproduce or not. But
Hmm.
it looks like they're just like further along. It's like obviously these are the originals
Yeah.
because they're the ones who first fell down. Maybe you're right. Maybe I don't know. They adapted differently because of where they fell. I mean, New York
Ooh,
City
yeah.
climate is probably different from wherever it is that fell in the first movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
They
but
did look
like
different though.
they did seem different and like pretty huge. Like some of them were like, oh shit. Like there's one scene we talk about later, but like it's like, oh man, that thing is like Godzilla size. Not really, but and like especially like when you see them like running through the streets or like
Oh yeah.
climbing the buildings, especially, it's like, oh shit. You can't even run
Maybe
out
it's
of
like
those.
us, where it's like there are big ones, there are small ones, short ones, and stocky ones.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just might be just different
Yeah.
ones.
Hmm. Yeah. But I liked it. Yeah. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah. I guess I'm in the middle. Um, just through uh the rules of within the universe of this movie. Just really confused.
In what
I
way?
didn't like I did it just felt like in some things they were just like could be louder than other things and they were like more precautious on other things. I was like, okay, well you're either if that's loud enough for them to get like warned, then the other thing you did should be loud enough for you to be worried something would come, but you're not. Type of deal. I refuse to believe that this entire movie didn't have a cat meow once. I don't
I
believe
think it
it. I'm
did meow
sorry.
at the end, like when he was like
At the end
Yeah, he
but
occurs.
it
did.
was like
Yeah, it
super
did.
At the
soft meow
very
too.
end. That's cool. That's
He's
cool.
like,
Out
see
of
ya.
everything, no, 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 just like anything. I was like, all right, cool. This cat must be mute or something because I don't understand. Also, I'd definitely be dead. I would not survive one night just based on the snores. It'd be
Oh
over.
yes, I was thinking that too. The
I'm
snoring,
like,
you're screwed.
I was like, you could sleep right now and not work. I'd be terrified. Uh, no way for you to believe that that whole that oh, and nobody snores in this universe, and if they do, they're probably dead. Um, uh, the setup to the protagonist's story, I also was like, I guess I don't whatever. I could go over the spoilers. Uh, I thought it was going to be uh more what are they called? Death Angels or whatever that we just found out they were called.
Yes,
More
the
monster.
official term.
I thought they were gonna. I thought it was gonna be more monster driven. Um, but it kind of just kind of like felt like I was watching the first one, not the first day, but the first movie. Um, and I was like, I know what the immediate threat is, but I want to see what's the main problem here aside from aliens eating you up. I was like, I know that's the problem, but there has to be a problem that you need to solve in this movie, and it didn't come until like the middle of the movie. So for me, it felt a little draggy until it got there, and I was like, oh, you're moving your feet very, very slowly to get there. But when it finally got there, I was like invested of like, are they gonna get there? What's next? What's going on? Are they gonna get rescued? Are they gonna save themselves? Who's gonna be left behind? So on and so forth. So that's why I'm like the end of the movie. I don't want to say the end of the movie. The second part of the movie leading up to the end saved it for me, but the beginning and the absolute end didn't 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 do it for me. So that's why I'm like in the middle.
Hmm.
Charlie, what about you?
Um, similar to you, there's a large couple of plot holes in this movie. And I was just like, why don't you just do this? Right? Like, why don't you just or just confused at some of the moments in the movie. Um, other than that, I thought it was good for yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think the payoff could have been a lot better if the setup was a little bit more shown or thought out. And I can explain that in the spoilers, but pretty much I thought not Sammy, Sam's um like the journey could have been I would have been more invested in the journey if it was just set up a little bit better.
Hmm.
And I do have not a big problem with the cat. I'm just like the cat was fine.
Why do you
Trying
hate
to
the
move the
cat?
plot forward. Huh?
Why do you hate the cat?
Oh, it's just like how you're gonna meow. Like it's gonna meow. Like it's just gotta. Like the probabilities is high. Like it happens once in the beginning, happens once in the end, and then nothing in the middle. Like did the cat also like did someone tell the cat to like be quiet too?
I mean, it lives in like
Um,
like a hospice home, so it has to be quiet, probably, right?
I don't know. But I mean, but you know, this was Sam's journey, not the cat's journey, but whatever.
Did you want a
But
cat
we all care
movie?
about
What do you want?
the um but yeah, but a couple of things in terms of just like Eddie said, like what the hell are the rules here? Like what counts, what doesn't count? And then a couple of just like um decisions made by the characters where I'm confused. But we can get that into the spoilers. Anything else on spoiler free?
It really, really made me crave pizza.
That's a spoiler.
Not really. They don't know what it's in reference to.
But now you know. But now they know there's pizza in it.
I mean, it's New York.
It is New York, yes.
That's true. Any other spoiler free thoughts?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, spoilers ahead.
For this movie and the
Um,
rest of the series.
Yep. Yep. So yeah,
So what
I'm
are these
just confused
nitpicks
as
you're
to
talking about that like there's so
so
many?
these there's so many. There's so many.
Oh, so
Number
many. Tell
one.
me. List them. Wow, you can't even
Number
think of
one,
any. So
the
many.
generator starts up because like the lights go out or
Yeah, because
whatever,
the power is
right?
they cut off the power.
Yeah, so they cut off the power and the generator starts up. Just
Yeah.
leave it alone. Just leave it alone. You don't have to go fix it. I understand they're gonna come by, but they're gonna come by, destroy it, and that's about it.
Yeah,
You
but you
know,
don't know
like
which way they're gonna come in through that like playhouse, whatever. They're gonna destroy those
I
kids.
don't know. I just felt like it was a dumb
Charlie's out of that
decision.
room already. He's gone. He's running.
I'm like, all right, cool. That
He
generator's
set off
gonna, they're
car
just
alarms
gonna,
behind him, like with the people running,
yeah.
like
That was actually great. I love that because
oh yeah.
that was that was finally like, all right, cool. Somebody's thinking. But again, like they smashed the cars and like the noise went away, right? Like I think they would have done the same thing to the generator, and then that would have been it. Like you didn't need. Also, like it was 10 seconds in. Like you were too late, bro. Like it would have been like the generator was going on for like 5 seconds. I was like, it's over. It's over. Like the way the way they come through and how fast they come through, it's like it's over. But then the shirt gets him. Ooh. Uh,
The
um,
generator isn't what gets them, it's the shirt.
Yep.
yeah, it's the shirt. Um, so that being said, like these aliens are fast as shit.
Wait, so what was the issue
I'm
with
like,
that
there's
scene?
that scene is that he went out there to fix the generator, like turn it
Yeah.
off or whatever. I would have left it alone. I would have been like, not touching that. That's too late. It's like
Every man
it's
for
already
himself over
gone.
here.
Yeah.
That's not a
Number two, like
nitpick.
Eddie
What?
said,
This is
like
because
Eddie, no, it's
you're a
a
sole survivor over here. You don't want
I don't know.
to
The
be
way
in a
the way
theater
these
with everyone
things
the
else.
other
stalk
thing, the
the
other
way
thing
these
is
things
like,
stalk noise is like even if they were close to the kid, everybody would have been just like put their hands over their mouth to be quiet because they literally like step and
Yeah,
let
but
me
have you seen
investigate
how
very,
big
very
their
closely.
like feet things are or arms? Like, you step on those kids who are gonna scream, and other people are gonna scream.
Yeah, other people are gonna scream, "It's over, buddy."
That it's just a
it's
bloodbath
over.
in that theater.
Yeah, it's over. Like when I saw that big migration of people walking towards the bay or
That
the
was that was what I was talking about. Yep.
yeah, when I saw that shit happen, I was like, if that was me, if that was me, I would have been like, nope, not doing this. This is way too many people. Y'all bunched up. Y'all need to separate.
Like go block
And I know
over.
somebody, and I know somebody's gonna be like, trip. Like there's a person in a wheelchair, and they're like, you know, making. They're just like going over all the potholes.
Hmm Well,
There's a
even
person scraping. There's a person like scraping like I don't know, a wagon behind them or whatever. It's just like this is bad juju. And then everybody's footsteps all together. Like no,
exactly
I'm
the
gonna sit down.
footsteps.
I'm gonna sit this one out. Everybody's screwed here. And of course, there's
Yeah.
that one lady that's like, Anthony, where are you? Like, shut up, lady. Shut up. But um, the only people I can't hate on are the people who are like there, like 10 seconds in, and they're like, what's going on? And they get killed, right? Because they have no idea. But, but yeah, but sometimes they were able to like whisper. I understand they were able to whisper under the rain. That makes a lot of sense. But there's another time like where they finally made it to the pizza place and it was burned down and they like talked. Um and I'm just like, all right, this doesn't make sense. Like you should have been called out. But I mean there was also fire by them, so maybe that was covering their noise. I don't know.
I mean, New
I
York
don't know.
City is always loud. Like the beginning of the movies was like what, like 90 decibels or something is average.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's loud even if
Yeah.
there's not like pe cars or people talking, like it
Yeah.
just makes noise for
I
being
would have
there.
done the car thing. I would have done I don't know. I just thought of like the monkey from Zombies, Call of
Push the
Duty
kid
Zombies.
over,
Yeah. Um, so that was
My
one thing. And the other thing was just like, all right, there's still a working government because like people from New York were getting instructions in terms of like, be quiet, stay indoors, like go to the sea, and like
don't
all
make
the
noise
monsters were,
as you fly over with a chopper on a microphone,
yeah,
a
Dude,
megaphone.
right?
yeah. And then all the thing, and they followed like a herd, like they all went towards the chopper or whatever,
hmm
right? I'm like, all right, well, lead them to the water, lead them to the bridge, and then blow up the bridge. Like you don't have to blow up the bridge just cause. Like there could have been some kind of strategy or tactic here, right? If they're already following you, maybe try the volume. Maybe try frequency. Like it's just, I don't know. That's
Well,
always been my problem with the Quiet Place
I mean,
though.
that's like the
Um,
problem with the first movie. Like John Krasinski has like a question mark next to the thing sound on his whiteboard. It's like, come on, guy, your daughter has like a hearing aid. Like, come on, it's not that
yeah,
the
hard,
thing
like
is
you
is that
don't
it?
if you
know
take,
about sound.
it's like that's the thing that I had a quarrel with that I mentioned to Charlie was like in part one, it still seems like they're trying to figure out what's going on ish.
hmm
But in this movie, like I guess I would take the first movie as canon and this one as not, even though
What?
in the timeline it's different. Well, because in this movie, it's almost immediate. Like the attack happens, and within days, they know so much about them. But in the
Well,
first
like,
movie, it makes it seem like they don't know much about them.
well, maybe because they live in like a rural like town and they don't have any
But they were still
information.
getting newspapers from like major newspapers. You know what I'm saying? Like government
I don't
still
know, like, because
exists and printing press still exists
yeah,
in
there's a
part
scene in
one.
this movie where they show like someone's like listening to a broadcast and like she's like marking on a globe where they've been attacked. So it's clearly worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worldwide. I just meant like it seems like they get advanced very quickly within the first couple of days, but within 468 days, according to the first film, even people in rural areas don't know or don't know as much, even though it's been a year. And it clearly seems like there there's government uh, there's government influence still going on to some degree.
Sure, day one, but day 400, I don't,
Well,
you
that's what
think
I
the
mean. Like
government's,
I would assume, but again, in day 400 or whatever, they're still getting piece of printed paper.
were they?
Like, yeah, there's a bunch of printed like newspaper clippings that they have
Yeah, there was like
within the
newspapers
thing.
and
It's
Yeah,
like
stuff.
but
that doesn't make
was
any
that from
sense.
day 400 or was that like from over the weeks that it happened?
Well, my point is that they obviously know, but
Yeah.
the movie implies that they don't know as much as what I'm saying. Like they don't. It took them that long to figure out what was needed to be done. When in this movie, they figured out with almost within hours or days of like, this is how they operate, this is how they go. When in the first movie, it's very, very much implied that we're still trying to figure out how to like defeat them and what causes these things and how it, so on and so forth. When in
I
this
don't
in
think
this
they know
film,
how to defeat them
no, no, they
because
don't.
like they send in the
That's
military to New York, like you see like the Jeeps and stuff, military Jeeps, like those the military gets taken out pretty quickly as well. Like they don't
yeah,
That
use
is true.
like sound guns or something.
no,
So they don't know what's going on other than the water part. That's all they know.
yeah, yeah, the water part and the sound part.
Yeah.
Um, but apparently this one is the rain part too, because they can scream during rain
Green Thunder.
or thunder,
Yeah.
which I don't know if that
Yeah.
again, I don't think the
Which
loudness of the
again, it's
thunder
like,
would
all right,
drown out,
you don't sound like thunder when you yell. So are they going to pick up a difference on the frequency, or is it just like
or is it just
they
all
only hear the
water?
rain? Yeah,
Were they trying to imply that
I
the
don't know.
rain was the equivalent of a waterfall? I
Something
I
like that.
I don't know. I
Well, I
was just
mean,
like, I don't think.
if it's in the city, it's hitting off of so many things.
Why don't you just hang out by the waterfall? Just live by the waterfall.
um Also in the beginning of this movie, they like she gets knocked out, but they bring her inside. I mean, I would assume everybody's dead. I wouldn't see an unconscious body there and assume that person's alive, drag her into the movie theater and let's watch her until she wakes up
I
so she
mean,
doesn't
she was
make a
like blown
noise.
into a building, so maybe that was that building.
Yeah, but they immediately like as soon as she wakes up, they're right there. They were just like watching her right there to cover her mouth. Like,
I mean, you can see she was still breathing, right?
was
You can
she?
see that.
I
Even
don't
if you're
know.
knocked out, you're still breathing.
That's just Hollywood, baby.
That's just Hollywood.
What?
I
That's
feel like
just
that's just like a
biology. What are you talking about? Hollywood.
I'm just saying, if you saw
where
several
Eddie's
body
things
locked
like you
out,
would
I
have
would
like you
think you
would
would
drag the
pick
body
one
in and
out
then
of
like
all of
walk.
them to be dead.
Yeah,
I would assume
yeah.
everybody's dead or dying, not unconscious, because
Well,
they
there was a
look
lot of
like they're.
bodies in that room, so I assume they
That's
brought a lot of bodies in there.
they didn't bring hers. They left her ass outside for
What?
filming purposes. She was outside of the main doors. She was just sitting there.
What are you talking about?
I don't buy
She
the
woke
setup.
up in the theater and he like covered her mouth inside the
Yeah,
theater.
but then they let her into a bigger room. Like everybody was inside the bigger room.
Yeah.
The setup is that she was out there, and for
Hmm.
some reason, these people came out and specifically waited there until the moment she woke up, because they were right there immediately when she woke up to cover her mouth. Like the setup in itself is very, very movie esque as opposed to just make it like it normally would be. In any crisis, you wouldn't be standing hovering over somebody who you assume is unconscious or not dying. Like it's the setup is very, very movie intended, which the first one wasn't. It was just kind of within the realm of the movie. It wasn't a setup to make the movie move forward. Is my point. And the
All
second
right.
point
I see
is
what you're
if
saying.
and the second point is if that whole room full of people wasn't loud enough, even with murmurs, but everybody walking together was loud enough to get something going, I don't know what the decibels are here. Because as much as that whole room, even if they were all like whispering, I genuinely feel would be loud, just as loud as all the footsteps walking together, which you guys are fucking idiots. Why are you all walking together? Why the fuck are you all walking together in the middle of the fucking street? Like, do you not understand that makes an echo and sound and an empty? I feel like New York would die just not out of common sense. It's like you're all walking this lonely road in an empty filled city. Do you not think something would happen. Are you not looking where you're walking? There's debris everywhere. There's glass everywhere. There's like,
Hmm.
be careful where you're stepping. Um, I think all the children would be dead based on crying. You can't stop a kid from crying. That you know, if you had a kid crying, would you just throw it away, or what are you doing? What are you doing in that situation? And there are no animals in this movie other than that one cat, and we already did the whole cat thing. I was like, all right, well, you're not gonna meow.
Well, they're all dead probably.
But
There was a little
all the
squirrel
animals.
by the
Yeah.
water fountain.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Little squirrel was fine. Uh, but get to the point is like I didn't know what the problem was. Well, the problem was that they needed to get to the boat and they needed to figure out how to go there, but that didn't come until the middle of the movie. Like the main problem was to survive, and I understood that, but it's like you can't just survive. Like the point of the movie
What?
is just to survive.
The point, there wasn't a problem. It was she wanted to get pizza, and that was her goal for the
No,
first
she
half of
wanted
the
to get
movie.
pizza because she knew she was dying.
Yeah.
She had cancer. But
Why
that
are you
wasn't the
saying like
problem.
there's no plot for this movie? Like what?
Well, the plot for the first one was also was a thing that I had because
This is a different movie. Why does it
yeah, I
have to
know,
be the same as the
but
first one? What
no,
are
it
you
doesn't have
talking
to be the
about?
same one. I'm drawing parallels because it seems like they really tried to do the same. They tried to just layer that over, and it just didn't work very well for me, in my opinion.
It's it's not even the same storyline. What are you talking about?
No, but they use the same tropes. Like I said, in the first one, the
Hmm.
main problem of the movie was just to survive. But the second part of the movie, what the problem was them to survive the immediate threat. They needed to survive that they were in a harmonious place and through no fault of their own were now found and they needed to survive the immediate threat. In this one, the general problem is that these aliens are here. But the immediate problem that they needed to solve was to get to the boat to leave. That
Yeah.
was the main problem. But the main problem wasn't introduced into the
Yeah,
middle
but
of the
that wasn't
movie.
her. She never wanted to do the boat. So that's why we didn't the boat wasn't even a thing an option
Well,
until
the
the
boat wasn't
other
even
characters
mentioned
showed
until
up.
again, yeah, the boat wasn't even mentioned until like the
Yeah.
they had killed the
She was
the
never going to go on the
bridges,
boat. So why the boat wasn't like a goal for her.
but that's what the goal of the movie was.
It
That's
wasn't.
my
No,
point.
Not
no,
until
no, it
then,
wasn't.
until
No,
Eric
it
showed
wasn't.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
the end of
goal
the
of the
movie
movie
and
was the pizza.
the end of the movie,
The
the end of the
goal,
movie was yeah, was to get on the
yeah, it was
boat.
a pizza.
Yeah,
No,
the
What's the
who
goal
needs to
was
get to
pizza?
the boat?
The boat came afterwards because she wanted to save Eric and their cat. The reason the why the boat wasn't a thing in the beginning was because she didn't care about the boat.
yeah, but they had gotten the pizza already. And there was another
What?
30,
No, no, they
40 minutes
haven't.
What are
into
you
the
talking
movie.
about?
After they got the pizza, there was still another 30, 40 minutes in the movie.
I don't I don't think there was that much.
Yeah, I don't
They
think
pretty
that was
much
like
go
30
back to her
minutes.
place and swap coats and then get ready to leave. That's pretty
Yeah,
much the end.
they get ready to leave. What are you talking about? Then the whole walking process happens after the pizza.
What the walking with all the people?
Yeah.
No, that
That
was
happens
before.
before. That was before she even met Eric.
That was like the the
The
radio or
setup.
whatever, the helicopters were like, go to the shoreline. We have boats here. And that's why people started walking again. Eric wasn't there until after the walking, like the people they started walking, like after that part, because he was in like the subway that was
No, I
flooded.
got I got I got all my scenes mixed up then. No, I got all my scenes mixed up then. I
This
was
is what I
almost
was talking about
100%.
with the. I mean, it wouldn't. I don't know if it would help Eddie's poor memory, but this is what I was talking about with the setup of this movie. Like, I didn't understand that she kind of gave up on life until the end of the movie.
What?
Um, when she
Did you watch the
wrote.
beginning of the movie or did you miss that because you were late?
Well, no, I watched I watched the beginning, but I was
Uh-huh.
like, I thought it was like a setup where it's like, oh, she's just going through treatment and is like doing whatever, right? But I didn't get the feeling of like I didn't get the feeling that she like completely gave up and didn't care and like whatever, except for like her cat. Like that's the only thing she cared about, right? And it wasn't until the end where she wrote Eric that like very heartwarming note where she's like, "Thanks for making me feel like alive again or like know how to live again." I'm like, oh, she like gave up on life because like of her sickness, right? I thought it,
She's in
she could
hospice
have,
care. That's like terminally ill people are in that.
yeah, but
Like
you could
you're
have, I mean,
dead.
she could have like, um,
What? Plus,
yeah, but you could
there's
still have a
literally a
generally,
scene where they're in the apartment, like when before they scream, her talking about how she is like days, months, hours
yeah,
left to
yeah,
live.
and I get, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Like
maybe
it's
it's my
pretty
fault.
clear
Maybe
to
I
me.
just don't
I
know.
don't know. Do you guys
Maybe
not?
I just don't. No, it wasn't clear to me at all. It
Well,
wasn't clear to me at all.
the only
One
thing
bit.
according to her that gave her purpose was pizza.
Yeah. And going like to her dad's old place where he played.
Yeah.
That where the pizza was.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's that's
Yeah, because it's like, well, I'm gonna die
reasonable.
anyway. And whether, yeah, well, it's like whether it's by alien or whether it's by cancer or whatever sickness is, like you're gonna die anyway, so might as well do it. Might as well just go back to a place that like really means something to you, especially because you're in the, she has an opportunity to in the city, as opposed to wherever she was hospitalized.
Yep.
Um, hence she wanted pizza. So I guess her plan was to, since she already was gonna die, her plan was to get pizza and then die. Then Eric came along, right? And there needed to be a part where she saves him or at least gets him to the boat. And that was the last 20 minutes.
That's what I don't remember when they revealed that that's the reason why she wanted pizza.
Oh, because it means something to, no, they didn't say that.
What?
Like all she said was like, we're gonna get pizza, right? And then
Yeah,
he's like,
but
yeah, we'll
I'm
get
asking like
pizza.
when in the movie they revealed that the reason why the pizza was important. I know the pizza was
All the
important.
way until the end. All the way until the end.
When they get to the pizza place, pretty much.
When they actually get there.
Because like it was next to where her dad played, and they would go there afterwards.
So
If you would have told me that in
for
the
the
beginning,
entire movie, we don't
I
know
would
the
have felt the
motivation
end.
of what the pizza represents other than pizza.
Yeah, we just think she's dying anyways. Well, at least I thought that. So she wants one last slice. Like, what is she gonna do? Go on a boat and then die slowly somewhere else? Like get one last slice that will never exist again.
True.
So Chris, for you, you didn't jump to a conclusion on that one
About what?
about that the pizza didn't actually mean pizza.
Well, I didn't know the deeper meaning, obviously, but like
But you and
I
no, but you
assume I
didn't jump to a conclusion by any means of like she doesn't really want pizza. A pizza means something to a cancer like stage 5 cancer patient.
yeah, I mean that makes sense. Like
No,
definitely
I'm asking
felt
because
no,
honestly
yeah,
for
yeah.
me, no, I'm generally asking because for me that's why I'm asking because I don't even I that's why because going back to my confusion of how the scenes were mixed, that's what I thought. I thought that was that motivation of her wanting to go there was already introduced, but it was introduced fairly, just introduced into the middle of the film or in the process of them getting to it. I didn't remember that it was not, I guess, towards the end that it was like a full circle of like, I have this thing. All I want is a good memory, a final memory of what I remember as a child.
Hmm.
and that's what that's the driving force behind this, and we don't know until it's revealed until the end. So that's why I
Yeah,
was
for
asking because
me,
I didn't get that
mhm.
right off the bat.
Yeah, for me it was more like, okay, she's super sick. She's gonna die anyways. Let's just get this pizza. Like just for like one last slice kind of thing. And not like, but wait, yeah, like a sentimental reason makes way more
Like
sense.
a weird comparison, but like Zombieland Twinkie thing,
Yeah, exactly.
where it's like I just want a effing Twinkie. Why? It's like I just want a Twinkie in my mouth, like the spongy. Like, was it just like I just want a cheese pizza from Ray's or whatever, or
Mhm.
wherever it is that they ended up going? Which I don't know if that was a particular like good pizza, like a staple in New York or something like. I don't know if it was like meant to be, but the fact that there was a pizza like there, I don't know how you guys. I would not eat that pizza, just like
I
Why?
was trying to like
there.
do the
Good.
math how many days it's been. Like two, maybe? Like if it's sitting under like the whatever, the burner or whatever, the heater, maybe. Well, that's turned off already, so I don't know. Cold
My dumb ass
pizza.
would put in like a microwave and be like beep beep.
Beep beep beep.
I'm like,
Like an
man, I
air
don't want
fryer.
cold pizza. I don't want cold pizza. I'm gonna turn on the
Fuck,
oven.
fuck cold pizza. It's old pizza. Like I'll eat cold pizza, but
No,
old
it's
pizza
like
is
what, 6 hours old, 8 hours old?
No, it's like a day, 2 days, right?
no. It's
Yeah,
like two,
a
three
day or
days. It took
two.
like 2, 3 days. No,
That's
like
fine.
all
Yeah.
right, assuming best case scenario, they had just finished that pizza when they got invaded, right? We're at least talking like what 30, like 28 hours, 30 hours, just sitting out there. With God knows what walking all over it, and like,
You
you know,
know,
just
if it's your
wild
last
stuff.
piece, what are you gonna do?
She
You
didn't
can't
even
make a
like it.
pizza.
She didn't even like the pizza. What did she say? She wanted
Because it
pepperoni. What
wasn't
was it?
from the original place she went to. It was like from some other
Oh
place.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it
That's
was like
true because
someplace
it
next
burned
door
down.
that
That's
didn't
right.
burn
It
down.
burned
Yeah.
Yeah,
over. It's like,
yeah, because
yeah,
it
we'll
burned
give you
down.
that. We'll give
What
you
a
that.
waste! What a waste! What a waste of a trip. Um, no, but like, okay, Zombieland comparison. I know, like, they're just completely two different movies, but um, when the guy from Zombieland was like, "It was a good dog," like I love my dog, and then later on, when what's his name? The other guy, it's like when I realized he wasn't talking about his dog, he was talking about his son, right? Like that was a good payoff because like we were so invested in this dog, not invested in the dog, but like you got emotionally attached to his story. Once you found out it was his son, it was like, oh shit, Woody Harrelson. No wonder you like kill all the zombies. This one, it's like, all right, cool. Like you just want to get pizza. All right. It's like, oh, it's about your dad. Like, oh. There wasn't like wasn't a great like oh moment for me. I was just like, oh, ew, okay.
Did you
That's
want them
cool.
to talk
That's
more in a movie where you have to be quiet?
that's some nice information. I mean, they were talking the whole time, so why not? Um, but yeah, but I bet the pizza was like stale and cold, but F it. I would do the same thing for a nice Little Caesars, last Little Caesars pizza.
Oh,
The last hot and ready
Chris
pizza.
didn't even wait for you to finish it. Oh, that's disgusting, brother.
it's not like a special
I
place.
was
It's like, here's this
Brother.
random Little Caesars.
and I would die turning on the microwave
All right,
oven.
Chris. What would your
Um,
final slice be from?
Hmm.
would you
It's a good
travel
one.
from Austin all the way to Chicago?
Just to
I
get
mean, that
that
would take
final slice.
it
You know,
would be probably moldy because it would take you like probably like 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially if I like wanted like deep dish, that's gonna be super moldy. It's not gonna that's not gonna age great.
You gotta
I'll
eat
have you
around the
like put in
mold.
like a freezer or something.
I know there's like a Giordano's in like Dallas or something.
Hmm.
But which
Yeah, but it's
one?
not the
Okay, what?
same. Not
Well,
the
let's say you're in
same.
Austin. Which one would you get?
Um, there's like a Pint House pizza place. Pint House Pizza is pretty good. They have like specialty pizzas. So go
Nice.
there. I don't know, like it's not it's all right. Pizza's all right. Not great here.
Not
Yeah,
Little
it's not
Caesars.
Chicago. Yeah, no. I mean, there is one that's probably closer. I mean, if I'm walking, maybe I just go Little Caesars, you know.
Um, what about in Chicago?
Uh, Buonati's, get one.
Nice. Okay.
What about you guys?
Um, where would I
I'd probably
go?
kill for Pizza Hut.
Jesus.
I love Pizza Hut.
Stuffed
Don't
crust?
Jesus me.
Dire.
One
You
last
said Little
crust?
Caesars.
Yeah.
Don't be Little Caesar. Don't be Little Caesar and
That was
having
the
ass over here.
that was a,
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one.
um I don't know. Pizza would be good. One last
Pizza. That's
pizza.
Little Caesars, isn't it?
No,
Trying to hide
Pete's
it.
Pizza.
Oh, Pete's Pizza. You know what? I like
Okay.
Jets. Give me a good Jets
Oh.
pizza. Detroit style pizza.
I mean, that's
No,
like people, yeah.
honestly, because of just
All
like taking all
right.
the factors, it would definitely be a chain pizza, not like a small pizza. If it
Yeah,
was small
probably
pizza, there's
easier.
a place called Cipriani's down the block from me.
Hmm.
Fire. Cipriani's is amazing. It's won like Chicago's best pizza a couple
I mean,
times.
there's got
Ooh.
to be somebody like who would have like was full of eating it or on the way out eating it, or there's like some like a pizza. They had slices, so that should have still been around, right?
I mean, Eddie said he's a block away. He can just go there and take them all as soon as it starts.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know the secret ingredient of the secret ingredient sauce. So
Also, why is that
Hmm.
Eddie's first move?
because
He didn't have
World's ending.
lunch.
He's like, I gotta get to the
I'm a
pizzas.
portly gentleman, and I want to have that last. He who controls the pizza controls the universe or whatever.
um, if we were in the apocalypse together, Chris, and I was like,
Mhm.
I gotta get this pizza, and we ended up at a Little Caesars, would you be mad at me? Would you kill me?
Was it like
Would you
you're
set
just
your
need
would you
like I
set your alarm on your phone and slip the phone into my pocket?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Would you tell me we're going to Little Caesar, or it's like this pizza place, like my dad, I have this memory, or like whatever, my family, like we had to go
The
there because
latter,
of
the
my
latter.
family.
How
Yeah.
mad would you be if I was like, man, this place is so special to me. You gotta come with me, Chris. And we end up at a Little Caesars.
I guess I'm having a slice. Might as well.
And
I feel like
then
You
yelling
Little
and
you
Caesars
made me
screaming.
probably
throw it
ages
up.
differently, right? It's kind of like
You would
McDonald's,
take
how like
it doesn't ever mold or anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll
You would take a
survive
bite and be like,
forever.
oh, I remember why I don't like this, like really loud, and then we would just both die. Um, like I've said before, I think we reviewed A Quiet Place 2.
Hmm.
I would die just going to sleep because I snore and it would be over.
We need to make you like one of those baby coffins from the second movie.
Sleep in like a furnace or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would might be big. Um, yeah. The other thing, more the last nitpicky thing, last one, that's the only one I had, is where are all the bodies? Um, Sam was walking around all of New York, and it doesn't seem like these. aliens eat people. So where are all the bodies?
Yeah, I was wondering
Yeah,
about what they
I
eat,
thought they
you know?
shredded them. Don't didn't they? Didn't they just like shred them to pieces?
Yeah, don't they just, well, they
Just
just
like just
kill.
break them to make the
Like in
noise stop.
half. I thought they like split them in half. I mean, even then, I would assume there would be lots of blood and bones and guts everywhere. But that is a
Yeah.
valid point. I don't know where all the bodies are.
Or
And yeah,
pieces
to
of
your point, Chris,
bodies.
I don't know if they eat or how they survive.
Because like we see a nest in the this movie and it's like they're eating like little things. I thought they were eggs at first, but like they're like little
They're
like
like,
kibble or something, right?
yeah, like some kind of protein based, like
Like do they
just
use
Yeah, but where are they
slosh.
human
getting
to
that
make
from?
those? I don't
Are
know.
they
Like,
making
Yeah.
that? Are they
yeah, I don't
is
know
it
how
like
that
dog
works.
food that they're eating?
Yeah.
No idea.
There also
I mean,
don't
it
seem
was
to be
also
like
PG-13, so they probably can't have too many bodies on the screen, right?
yeah, that's fair. But also
That's
like I
true.
guess going down that train of thought, it's like there really isn't like a structure here, right? They don't necessarily they're like piranha. They don't necessarily fight against each other, but they're not exactly on the same team. So like there doesn't seem to be like a structure here. It just seems like everybody just goes.
Like they're just
Like
there.
like even when it comes to noise, they'll fight the noise together, but they won't fight each other to fight the noise. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't but there doesn't seem to be like a leader or like a queen or something. They just all kind of fell to the sky and they're all just like here.
Well, wasn't there
Um
like that big one by the nest? Like, was that maybe a
maybe
leader
I mean maybe,
of
yeah.
sort? I
I
don't
mean
know.
I would imagine that at some point this would turn into like Prometheus or something like that other one.
Yeah.
What was it? What was the Cloverfield that had like like a weird origin story from space that tied into the Cloverfield series or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that?
That was Cloverfield. Yep.
Yeah. So like maybe they'll eventually do that. Because I mean, or maybe just keep it as is, right? I mean, we don't necessarily have to know, but um, it just seems like they're just here and we just like have to figure it out. Do you know if they're gonna if there's another one after this one?
I don't know if there's anything planned, but this made the most money out of the whole franchise. So definitely gonna make more of these. I was thinking like we saw the Globe, so maybe like international for the next one, do something there. That.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I don't know, like you said, like the space thing is interesting. Maybe something with that. I don't know. Like where do they come from?
Maybe. I just don't want it to divulge into something that it isn't. This is very, very like in the world we have something that we have to live with or figure out how to like destroy. In the first one they figured it out, and then the second one it was more of that, I guess. It was more of like just surviving from a
Hmm.
different perspective.
Yep.
So maybe like the last installment, the next installment would actually be like a plan to like get them like completely destroyed or something.
Maybe. Or it could just spin
Unfortunately.
off into like the Purge kind of thing.
No, to make
Where
multiple
they just
movies
keep
of
spinning
this. John
off. They
Trubisky
just
is just
spin
like
off like,
his annual Quiet
yeah.
Place,
Yeah.
annual Quiet Place
Yeah.
movies. No, I mean they could.
I
I
mean
mean they
both are
could.
both, I mean both are possible. I don't know if like John has like ultimate say of like yes and no or whatever, but
We'll see.
um
Because I'm like, well, you could end it, but not end it the way Godzilla 2000 ended. Like Godzilla 2000 was a single movie, but at the end of that movie, there's still one more egg. Ooh. But there wasn't any sequels to that. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh,
Yeah.
we have to deal with this
yeah.
again, type of thing. Just make it seem like we got them all. But if there happens to be one still
Yeah.
around for whatever reason, we could fight them off again if we needed to or some shit. I don't know.
Day like 2000 and we're somehow in control of these animals and America
They
becomes a
someone's
superpower
riding them.
again. Yeah. Or something like that, like
Yeah, like
the nation of the nation
So,
of whatever becomes a
some weird
superpower.
Jurassic Park version where it's like, how many movies do you need to understand that stop playing with nature, stop fucking reproducing these fucking spliced dinosaurs together? Fucking BD Wong has been in like all of these. Like, can someone murder this scientist already? Like, geez, stop playing like God with these dinosaurs. Geez, leave the dinosaurs alone.
It looks like there's going to be another A Quiet Place 3, which follows the same family.
But they're on the island, unsafe.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna. Well, like Eddie said, they finally kill them all or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be able to kill him pretty easily, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Here we go,
Me being
Megan.
a
Here's the
semi.
Megan debate again.
I
okay.
mean,
I still feel like
it
I could
wouldn't
kill
be hard
Megan.
to
I
put
just
some
really feel
tarp
like
on top of on top of a lake, lead them to the tarp, have their body weight fall, push the tarp through, and then have them fall into the lake and then drown or whatever. I mean, it would be
How do
pretty
you not
easy
fall
to
through the
set the
tarp?
trap. How do I not fall to the
Yeah.
top? Because I can swim. They can't. I
I just
can't.
feel like the
They
But
the
why
may.
would they follow
Navy
you?
the Navy would have been all over this already. I'm
Oh,
just
because
saying.
they think there's like space to step.
Yeah,
What,
because
you
they
get
don't have
like two
eyes.
with that?
Huh?
How many are you gonna get? Like two? And then you have to set up again?
Yeah, and then do it all over again till they're all dead.
Well, like even in this movie,
I'll
had
be
they just
king of
put
I'll
in
be king of the I'll be king of the I'll be the savior of the world.
even in this movie, had they just put firecrackers on the bridge first and lit them up, they all would have ran on the bridge, then destroy the bridge. You're not gonna kill them with the missile. What you're gonna kill them with is them falling into the effing water. Just take an
No,
extra step to get them together.
I don't agree with that assessment just because the reason they blew up the bridge is for containment.
Yeah.
Right.
And
But
I mean
but
that's a standard. I feel like that would I mean I don't know if it's actually a standard like
but we know
protocol,
that
but
they use
in
that
terms of
the
movies, in terms of like what the government would do, it's like, well, they're all in Manhattan. It's like, all right, blow all the bridges because I'm not gonna have them go into Brooklyn or whatever.
yeah. No,
Makes
that makes
sense to
Um,
sense.
me.
That makes sense. But this was prior to
yeah.
them knowing about the noise
Um,
thing. Every time you go
correct.
around and you have a large group following the helicopter, just common sense, you see the large things just following the loud noise, get them to an isolated place where they could fall into the water like a bridge, then blow up the bridge. There you
Yeah, I
go.
guess you could bring them
I'm
to the
just
edge. You can bring them to the edge of the bit of the bridge because they blow up the middle of it, so they could just bring them anywhere really. They
I
could
don't know. I feel like any strategist would
if
have
you just bring them to
done
like an abandoned
something.
warehouse, you could just blow up the warehouse or whatever. Doesn't have to be the bridge, but I get your point.
I'm just saying also in this perfect world,
Yeah,
there was no feedback
yeah.
on that giant microphone. Not once. That made them like see a couple of them twitch. You know what I'm saying? Like there's gotta be some feedback in that loud ass megaphone, right? Like I don't know.
If it was
Everything's
just me, it
perfect,
would
but
probably
not
take me
perfect.
like if it was just me, it'd probably take me a couple of years to get rid of all of them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
If I
You're
had the
that smart.
military complex of the United
Yeah.
States of America, they would be gone by the afternoon. Everything would be back to normal.
You
By
should
the
call John and tell him
afternoon.
your theory for the third movie.
Oh man.
I just feel like if I had a bag of rocks, I'd be able to go anywhere, right? Because I just throw the rock. Go get it over there. It's like, all right, cool. Oh, go get there's another rock over there. Go over there. Just grab a bunch of stuff that has noises ready to
Yeah.
like throw away from me.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. Like always be carrying something to throw,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But uh, carrying something that's loud enough to make noise, but not loud enough that when you're walking with it makes the noise, you know?
Yeah.
Because you can't exactly walk around and be making noise. But, I don't know, something. I just feel like something like innocuous would be fine, where it's just like I just have, you know, a fucking fidget spinner. And I'm gonna throw this fidget spinner through a glass if I ever need to, or something. I don't know. No. I would not be. I don't think I survive because I would have to have chips. Need chips, and I can't eat chips in this universe. So
Eh,
fuck
find a nice
fish.
waterfall where
Yeah, I guess
Charlie
right.
is,
I
like
gotta
go
eat
to his
chips and water.
place.
You would die so hard because you see the last bag of hot Cheetos or something, and you'd be like,
Even opening the bag sounds like too
yeah, it would
crinkly,
make a lot
right?
of noise. Yeah, That's what I would use a thunder for, not to yell. I would use it to eat chips and maybe watch a movie or something. Um, Anything else we want to? Oh, the last thing I want to bring up was I found it hilarious that Sam or Lupita just spent all that time smashing windows and the cars and getting everyone's attention just for this guy to run with the cat and kick a bucket or run into a bucket and just like have all the
Yep.
aliens turn around and be like, there's something over there, right? Um, I was just, if I was Lupita, I would be so mad. I'd be like, you stupid bitch. How dare like go there slowly. They're not paying attention to you. Why do you have to run into the water? Anyway,
I thought
that
he was
gets
gonna
me
get
really weird.
his sweater cut on the fence, like, or something.
Oh, really?
I mean, it was
I thought he was gonna
broken fence.
I thought he was gonna be hooked right at the end. It would have been
The cat
but
survives, but he doesn't.
yeah.
Speaking of the cat
Um
though, like I know you guys hated the cat for some reason, but I know the cat was great. Super helpful for all the
I
human
didn't hate the
cares.
cat. It was it's improbable it would not meow like for the whole duration.
The cat knew
Like that was my problem.
more than the humans. And
Yeah, I didn't necessarily
And the
hate the
fact that she
cat.
risked her life and other people's lives to save the cat, I wasn't in agreement with that whole decision.
I mean, the cat was a survivor itself, like during this, like the
Yeah, but
people
then
walking, like he just ran off.
yeah.
Well, I wasn't necessarily like against the cat. I just felt like it felt like a character swap to me, where that would clearly be a dog, but they purposely put a cat in there for whatever reason. That's just me though. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. 'Cause I think a dog would have fit better. But I understand why they chose a cat.
I feel like cat is an easier like to carry
Yeah,
animal,
no, yeah, it helps the movie very very much. It's
And
suitable
it's
for a
like,
cat.
oh, we're going to the theater. Let me bring my dog.
Yeah, no, no, no. It makes. I mean, it makes sense for the movie. That's why I'm like, I understand it. But the more so point is that I can't believe this animal just didn't. Aside from the first 10 minutes of the movie where it accidentally hits a bell,
Yep.
I just can't buy that. Like, it's not reactionary or did it make any noise or anything like that. So that's if there's anything, that's the only actual quarrel that I would have. That I would any other
It was
animal
too
would have.
smart.
Or that no, but that's another thing is like animals instinctively are aware of what they just have their instincts, so it was probably aware. That's what I was thinking the whole time too, where I was just like, well, cats are a little bit more like I guess they read the room of humans a lot easier and they
Hmm.
understand like what's going on, so it's like they're mimicking what they're seeing, so it's like I could understand that aspect. That's why I was like, it was like a thing where it's like it didn't make any sense to me that it didn't say anything or didn't do anything, but it's like I get it. I get it. It's fine. It's not like doesn't dismiss the whole movie for me.
Yeah, like even in the scene where the cat like was curious about the nest, like it still helped the guy out eventually. Like it was
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we need to get out of here. Climb up here
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. 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 Oh, also like when the bridges get destroyed and then the other guy comes up and he wants to scream we're all gonna die, and then they're trying to cover up his face. Like this man really determined to say we're all gonna die. Like he really is determined. Gets it out and immediately gets like murdered and knocked out. But that burst of loudness still isn't enough compared to like other like a jingle of a bell or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I guess because they just blew up the bridge. Maybe it was they were already running. I don't know.
wow.
Yeah, but like he killed that guy like one hit. Like,
Yeah,
man,
no, I mean
brutal.
hitting your head in the back of a fucking brick wall, I'm pretty sure that's gonna do it. But he really
I
was
would
like he was really emphatic
I'll let
about
him
like, I gotta scream that we're all gonna
Right?
die. Let it go, bro. Let it go.
just freaking out. Just have a panic attack.
Scream somewhere else, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I would throw him somewhere else and be like, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah.
Not on my turf. I thought he was gonna have a bigger role in the movie. I've got his like forgot the actor's name.
Yeah, like because he was in the trailer a lot. So like I agree. I was expecting him to be in there more.
Hmm.
But I mean he made it out with everyone else in there. They should have
That's
stayed in
true.
theater.
Yeah, because they would have been right on time.
Yep.
Cool. Um, Chris, what's your rating? Should people go watch it? Sequel or another prequel or something else?
I would give this 3.5 Pizza Cats out of 5. And yeah, I like this one. I think the first one is still my favorite. Quiet Place 1 is not day one is still my favorite. And I don't know, just because the tone of that one I feel like is it was something we haven't seen before, like how that one was laid out. But yeah, this was still good in its own right. And I saw this in Dolby. It had I feel I feel like with the other films it was more on quiet, but this movie was there was just noise all the time, just because I guess because it's in the city, New York. So it
Yeah.
didn't really have the silent, no sound kind of thing. But it was still good. Looked great in Dolby. I would say go see in theaters if you can. If you like these movies, you'll probably like another one of these. As for a sequel, spinoff, whatever, yeah, like I said, international something, like the aliens are everywhere around the world. Put something there. I don't know, like
Yeah.
something different. Or one of you said like have it like way in the future, like day 1,000 or something like what does that world look like? Like
Mm,
so yeah. Curious to see what they do next. What are you, Charlie?
nice. Same as you. I give this 3.5 meows out of 5. Um, I thought it was I thought it was good. There were some things I was like, about I mean there's always nitpicky stuff. I feel like this podcast is like being nitpicky about everything, but there's some pretty big like like I don't really believe that kind of happenings. But it was still very good overall, so everyone should go watch it. Go ahead and watch it in theaters. I think me and Eddie just watched it in standard. It's perfectly fine, but I feel like Dolby would be a cool experience too. I know. I don't think we saw it in theaters. I think we saw it like in laser at AMC. But yeah, still very good overall. Um, I think in terms of a sequel, yeah, I would have to agree with you, Chris. Like we can leave America and go anywhere else. Um, I just don't know where. Um,
I had another
Europe,
idea for one. What if it's like day
yeah.
zero? It's like military, like they they've like been hearing rumors like stuff is coming in space, like
Mm,
they're trying to prepare, but they don't know. Like the president's going in his bunker kind of thing or
yeah.
something.
Yeah. I
Something.
was also thinking, yeah, the other thing I was like, oh, day one for the government slash military,
Hmm.
but that would just be like, it'd be like a little too close to the Purge 2 and a little too close to like White House Down or Olympus Has Fallen or that kind of thing,
Bring back
right?
Gerard Butler to fight the
Hell
seven
yeah.
monsters.
I watched the shit out of
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. So, but a government response, I mean, it'd be kind of overdone, but like I would still watch it. Like how does the government organize itself? Like the president's on land, and like probably only safe people are um the military that's on those huge uh like aircraft, like not aircrafts,
Hmm.
yeah, like the aircrafts that sit in the middle of the ocean and submarines and whatever else. Um uh so we'll see. I would also take one super into the future as well. Close to what Eddie was saying, where it's like we finally figure out how to defeat them. Now it's like the final battle for Earth. Blah 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 blah. Um. So yeah. So I'll take another one. If it's another one where it's like day 20, but like now we're in Chicago, or like now we're in LA, or now we're in the middle of Texas. And just be like, all right, cool. Like more of the same. Like everybody just be quiet. What about you, Eddie?
Uh, I'm in the middle. Like, it's a three. Three. I don't even know what three dead silences. I was gonna say nothing. That would be it. But three, just dead silence out of five. Uh, yeah. There's just watching films. Like I said, is we said this. I've said this in previous podcasts. Episodes, where it's just like you have to be able to just immerse yourself in the film. Um, and just take away, just not try to take away certain things. But it's very difficult 'cause within the rules of the, I guess again within the franchise rules of the film. I was just like, well, I can't separate it from the established films, I guess. So it's like, you know, I also had the same kind of quarrels with part two. Um, but it is what it is. It doesn't dismiss the movie. It's a very enjoyable movie, especially for the franchise. So if you're a fan of the franchise, definitely go watch it. It is another perspective, and that's for the most part, this is what these movies are. They're single chapters in a very very large book, and that's what you're getting. You're getting a specific viewpoint and a specific storyline. And as much as we want to connect them, that's not, while they have an overarching theme and what's going on, they're not necessarily meant to be connected. They are individual stories that are taking place from perspectives over the protagonist. So taking it at that face value, you're gonna enjoy each film, for what they are. As far as future films, yeah, international space. I'm thinking more of sci-fi, is keeping it within sci-fi, so eventually becoming a opposite Mad Max type of deal where eventually, a water world-esque war, society exists where they do everything they can to get away from it. So islands and societies on water are eventually going to be populated. Um, in the Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and so on and so forth, where land itself is different, and there's only certain areas where you could grow crops and get the materials that you need, and any dry land will eventually be known as like, you know, the the steppers land or something. I don't know, some bull crap, and it'll eventually become a lore of like, we don't go on land because something happened years ago. It's like, but what is that? It's like, well, we don't know. And then it becomes like Planet of the Apes style, where it's like, I'm gonna go find what the origins of this was, and then they see, they find a bunker of like all this stuff, and it's like, oh, they landed, and this is how they figure out. It's like, oh, we could take back the land. We don't have to live on the water anymore, type deal. And then that turns into that thing. I don't know. Just random ideas, I guess, at this point. But definitely would be intrigued and on board for whatever comes next in this series. So hopefully John comes up with something good, something interesting. But definitely would go watch it. And definitely go watch this in theaters. It is worth it. Um, so yeah, go catch it if you can.
Cool. If there are any scenarios we didn't cover, or if you are interested in telling us what pizza you would fight for, go ahead and email us at street2pod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter or X, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, and Twitch, all the same name, Straight to POD. And with that, that concludes this episode of Straight to POD. I'm Charlie.
Chris. And now, Maddie.
Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.